Excuse me, I'm making a video on hydration options, and a little walk right now, thankfully. And I wonder if you could help me by telling me how you choose to get your hydration when you're out here in the state park. No comment. Hi, I want to talk to you about hydration. In fact, I want to take a sip of water. And then talk to you about hydration. It is getting hot out there, at least here in Florida, where I run. It's getting really hot. I just came back from a run. Now it's in the middle of the day, and I should know better than to run in the middle of the day, but sometimes I don't have a choice. And it was really hot on that run. But even if I get up early, even if I'm out there before the sun comes up, it can still be in the 70s or even 80s by the time I'm out there running. And it's important for us to stay hydrated, and it's nice to have some water that I can dump on my head and stuff like that. We've all got these water bottles sitting around. You probably got one in a race packet, or some fitness club gave you one when you joined or something like that. And these are great. You can fill these up, obviously, carry them with you. But sometimes, especially if it's a long run, this can get kind of annoying just to hold that grip. And some people don't like doing that. So there are a lot of options that you can use instead of just carrying that bottle. This is a really neat product. This is called a bottle band. And bottle band, it looks like just two silicone bracelets, kind of like this thing that I wear, connected by a half of one. And what's great about this is you can use this on any water bottle. It fits on this standard water bottle here. Just slide one end over the top, slide one end over the bottom, and now my water bottle has a handle. And I slip my hand in there, and it's much easier to hold. That's great. And also, if I have a recyclable water bottle that I'm bringing from home, and I carry it with this, and then I go into a store, let's say I go into a convenience store partway through the run, and I buy another bottle of water, or maybe I buy a Coke or a Gatorade or who knows what, all I have to do is take that bottle, put it in the recycling bin, take the bottle band off, and throw it on the new bottle. I have found this really useful in Europe when I've done some races over there. A lot of those races don't put cups out. Instead, what they do is they put water bottles out, small water bottles. And people treat those just like we do cups here in the US. They take the bottle, they take a few swigs, maybe they dump some water on their head, but then they toss the bottle and they run along. Well, not me. What I do is I take one of those bottles, I put my bottle band on it, I drink from it, I carry it with me, I take it and I take sips from it for several miles, and then when I'm done, I take it off, toss it at the next water stop when I need another bottle, grab a new bottle, and I'm good to go. So this is a really neat product that I like. Sometimes you need a little bit more than this though, and so I've got some of these products, and these are really great because they work the same way as the bottle band. You can't really put any old bottle in there. You really do need one of these sort of standard size bottles. But it has a little pull strap to kind of cinch it down nice and tight, and it has a little pocket. So I can put a goo, I can put, I put the state park pass in there so that I can pull that out and show it to the guard as I run through the gate. I could put keys, money, whatever. And it even has a little place here that I can write my emergency contact information so that if something happens and somebody finds me, or they just find this, they could figure out where it belongs, and they could either get this back to me or get me back to my house if I end up in the hospital or something like that. And actually, I grabbed several of these because I thought, well, I have a bunch, so I probably have different brands that I can show you, but it turns out I've got these black ones, I've got this gray one, I've got this pink one. Turns out all of them are made by the same company. Nathan is the name of the company that makes these. There may be other companies that make something like this, but it just so happens I grabbed 5 of them out of my closet, and all 5 happen to be made by the same company. Some people just don't like carrying things in their hands. They just, for some reason, they don't like it. And for them, there are a lot of other options still. One of the first options that I went with when I switched to something that I wore I'm going to have to go get.
All right, so we're heading out on a run, and the sun is out, and it's Florida, and it may not be officially summer, but it sure feels like summer. I didn't look to see what the temperature was. So we've got some hydration options going. Wesley's got the bottle band, which is pretty cool, and I've got this little thing by Nathan. It's got a little pouch on it. Oh, and we get a walk break. You like walk breaks?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, I like walk breaks too. All right, so we're gonna enjoy our hydration. We're gonna enjoy our run, and then I'll check out some other hydration options for you guys in a little bit.
So this is a really neat product. It's a water belt, and it's made by a company called Fuel Belt. Fuel Belt, stay hydrated. Good advice. And it's got little mini bottles here that fit in these slings. You just slide them in there. And it even has one of them that is for gels. You could buy a big thing of gel that you squeeze in there, or you can buy the individual packets and put them in. I suggest if you use something like this, you put a little bit of water in there as well to make it easier to get through the opening. And it has a small section here that you could put some money or your driver's license or whatever. This is pretty good, and it distributes the weight well. And I actually used this one for my first 50-mile race, and it worked pretty well for that. Ultimately, though, I switched away from it because I found, especially as I moved on to doing longer distances, if I ran through all my hydration and I needed to refill, it's kind of a pain to have all these individual bottles to open up and refill. So I moved to something like this. This is by iFitness, and the bottles are a little bit bigger. They are wider apart, and they're pretty well distributed there. It still has a pocket in there that you can put some things. My phone will even fit in there, and it has a little strap there that goes over just to give you some sense of security to make sure that bottle's not going to pop out. And that's pretty good. My wife has one that she uses occasionally. This one is made by Amphipod, and it just has one big bottle, and then it clips around her waist. Again, it has a pocket there, and it also has that same strap that you can use to make sure that that bottle stays secure. And that's pretty nice too. When you're going longer distances though, or if you're going to be out hiking, if you're going to be going someplace that you might need your rain jacket with you, or you want to carry lunch or something like that, you might want to move up to something a little bit bigger. Now, my wife has decided that she wants to get into doing some rucking, and so she bought herself kind of a military-style pack here. This is actually, it's a military-style camelback, and it's got the little Velcro thing. You can put your own patches there. But you can see it has a hydration bladder in it, and the hose moves around here to the front so that you can put it on. You wear it like a backpack, and you can put your jacket in there. You can put other things in there, and then when you want to take a drink, you just sip from the hose. Now that's pretty nice. Actually, it's got a little bite valve here. You pull the cap off and you just bite down on it, and then you can put that back on so that it doesn't get messy or dirty. And those are great too. I don't tend to use camelbacks myself for longer races for a couple of reasons. One, if you do use a camelback, obviously you are stuck with one fluid, right? Either you fill it with water or you fill it with sports drink, but that's it. And if you do fill it with sports drink, it's just one flavor. So if you're carrying all the fluid you're going to need for yourself and you're not going to have to refill, or if you're using water, that's probably fine. If, on the other hand, you're going to be refilling, you're going to be at an ultra or something like that where you're going to be refilling and you might want to mix sports drinks and stuff like that, you don't want it all going into the same bladder. The other problem that I found with this is that I tend not to drink enough if I don't see how much I'm drinking. I might hear it sloshing there a little bit, but I'm always worried. I'm always conservative because I don't want to run out. And when you've got a regular water bottle, you can see it, you know how much is left in it, and you know if you're halfway to the next place you can refill, it's okay to be halfway through the water. And you know that if you've got a ways to go still, you need to make sure you're saving some. So I tend not to drink enough when I've got a Camelback, and maybe it's just me. Maybe other people have different results. So what I prefer instead when I'm doing longer distances is a hydration vest. This is one of my hydration vests. I have a lot of them, and all of my hydration vests are made by the same company. It's called Ultimate Direction. And Ultimate Direction is not the only company that makes these vests. There are other companies that make them. Theirs are just really comfortable, and they've made some changes over the years, and it seems like every year they come out with something neater and cooler about their vests that just makes me want to buy them. But they all work about the same way. You put them on. There are lots of adjustments to make it tighter. You can adjust these straps higher and lower for whatever is comfortable. This one has 2 different straps. And then you can put your bottles here so that you can carry your hydration. And then you're in the back, there are plenty of spaces for jackets, for food. There's some pockets here on the side that I put tissues in there, I can put my phone in there, my keys, that sort of thing. Now, one of the bottles that I'll sometimes use in these is a big bottle like this. This actually was developed for people that were doing races in the desert. And it's really a great bottle, and what I love about it is I put it right there, and when I need to take a drink, I can just turn and take a sip. I don't even have to take it out. It's pretty cool. And so I've used a bunch of these types of bottles. What more and more of the companies, though, that make these types of vests are doing is going to these soft flasks. And the soft flasks work, they hold the same amount of water as one of these other bottles, same as this, but they fit down in, and then what's cool is as you drink from them, they collapse in on themselves, so there's not as much sloshing. And these pockets up here have a little place to cinch, so once it's a little bit down, I can push it down and cinch it in, and that way, even if I fall, which I do sometimes, that's not going to fall out. And I don't have it with me, but I have a couple of these bottles that actually have a tall stem on it, so that just like that other bottle, I can bend and just take a sip and not have to pull it out. And I like having my hydration up here because that way I can see how much I have left and I can ration it accordingly. Whatever you're using when you go out to run, make sure you are carrying some hydration. I've talked to a bunch of people that have been having a hard time in the heat, and I've talked to a few people that have had a hard time with their routes. One guy said twice now he's gone out for his long run, and on his way back, the bridge he had to cross was closed. And so he had to loop around another way, and that added distance to his run. Fortunately, he had some hydration, at least the second time I know he did, so he was able to make it through. So it's a good idea to carry something with you, and these are all some great ways of doing that. I'll talk on another video about what to put in your bottle, about what types of fluids seem to work best. Preview of that, water is always a great choice. So I hope you're drinking enough. I hope you are staying well hydrated and getting the miles in. If you need me, you know how to reach me. Take care. Excuse me, sir. Can I get a comment from you? I'm making a video on hydration options. How do you choose to get your hydration when you're out here in the state park? Man, no one wants to talk. Oh, good. Okay. Got a water bottle flopping around here, so I'm using a vest by Ultimate Direction, which I'll show in a little more detail. And I'll also try not to block the camera, but it's kind of convenient. I've got my phone up here because I've got my phone in my hand. I am an idiot. I do have a fort pass here, so I can get in to the fort. I've got my gym boss up here. I've got my water bottle over here. I've got some tissues. So it's kind of nice to be able to carry a lot of stuff. And I have a few other water bottles that I use when I run
my 100-miler in the summer, and those water bottles allow me to drink without having to take the bottle out. But right now I'm using one of these soft flasks, which is kind of nice, and fits just fine down in the pocket. And then I can cinch it in, and I can carry a lot more stuff with this type of system than I could if I were just carrying handheld bottles. Another advantage is I could put a Camelback bladder into this if I wanted to, and that makes it a little more convenient, but it also makes it heavier, so there's the trade-off. Oh man, I love these things. These water bottle refilling stations. Just set the bottle under, press the button, and it fills it right up. I have to set the camera down though because I need 2 hands. I tell you what, best sort of hydration in the world is that nice, cool, ice bath at the end of the run. Talk to you guys later. If you need me, Chris@jeffgalloway.com. Take care. Excuse me, sir, could I, yeah, you know what? Never mind.